If you're dealing with arthritis, you know all about managing pain and stiffness. But what if one of the most powerful tools in that fight is already sitting in your kitchen? That's what we're diving into today. How the food on your plate can become a huge part of your strategy to calm inflammation and soothe your joints. So let's get right to it. Can your grocery list really be a core part of your arthritis care plan? The short answer? Absolutely, yes. Now look, it's not a magic cure, we know that. It's really about making consistent, smart choices that, over time, can make a real, noticeable difference in how you feel day to day. Okay, so to understand how food can help, we first got to know what we're up against. Our target is something called chronic inflammation. The best way to think of it is like a fire alarm in your body that's just stuck in the on position. Instead of a quick, helpful response to an injury, it's this constant, low-level immune attack that causes all that joint pain, swelling, and stiffness we know from arthritis. And this leads us to a really powerful idea. The choices you make every single day, what you put on your fork, directly impacts those inflammation levels. You can literally either add fuel to that fire or choose foods that help calm it right down. It really is a balancing act, a choice of what to put on your plate. On one side of the scale, you've got the triggers, right? Things like refined sugars, processed meats, and fried foods. They can just rev up your body's inflammatory response. But on the other side, you have these incredible allies, foods like fatty fish, berries, and leafy greens that can help put the brakes on all that. And this is such a huge shift in how you think about it. This isn't about restriction or what you can't eat. It's about empowerment. It's about seeing food as another positive, proactive tool you can use every single day to support your joint health, right alongside your other treatments. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Let's meet some of the all-stars of the anti-inflammatory world. We're going to highlight a few key players that the research shows can be especially powerful. First up, and this one is a big one, we have fatty fish. You could almost call it the superstar of the anti-inflammatory world. So why is it such a big deal? Well, it all comes down to the science. These fish are just packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds are known to directly lower key inflammation markers in your blood, like C-reactive protein. And the best part? The goal is simple and totally doable. Just aim for 2 servings a week of fish like salmon, tuna, or mackerel. Next up, let's talk about a humble but mighty ingredient you probably have in your kitchen right now: garlic. It does way more than just add flavor. It has this powerful compound called diallyl disulfide. Now, here's the cool part. Researchers think this compound might actually help protect your joints by putting a limit on the enzymes that damage cartilage. So, long story short, adding more garlic to your meals could be a simple way to give your joints an extra layer of protection. And let's not forget another fantastic fiber-filled fighter in this battle: beans. Yep, just like fish, studies show that beans can specifically lower that same inflammatory marker, C-reactive protein. Plus, they're just loaded with other important nutrients. So whether you're tossing kidney beans in a chili or pinto beans in a salad, they're a great choice for your joints. Okay, now let's zoom in a little bit because this is where it gets really fascinating. Let's look at the science behind some of nature's most powerful compounds, which you can find in everyday spices and teas. So, to really get how these work, we need to talk about something called the NF-kappa B pathway. Whoa, that sounds super complicated, right? But don't worry. Just think of it like this. It's the body's main inflammation switch. When this switch gets flipped on, it triggers inflammation. The amazing thing is certain foods can actually help quiet this switch down. Let's break down how this actually works. You've got curcumin, the powerful compound in turmeric, which directly gets in there and inhibits that NF-kappa B inflammation switch. Then there's gingerol from ginger, which provides broad anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. And you can't forget EGCG, the star player in green tea, which can even help block molecules linked to joint damage. See, these aren't just flavors, they are literally carrying out targeted missions inside your body. Of course, building an anti-inflammatory diet isn't all about what you add to your plate. Knowing what to dial back on is just as important, maybe even more so. So here are some of the main offenders we're talking about. Things like highly processed foods, sugary snacks, and processed meats. They're all known to trigger those pro-inflammatory chemicals. And that last one on the list, excessive omega-6s, brings up a really crucial idea: balance. You know, our bodies need both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, but the ratio between them is everything. A typical Western diet is just wildly skewed, with a ratio of about 16 to 1 in favor of the more inflammatory omega-6s. The whole goal of an anti-inflammatory diet is to dramatically shift this, bringing that ratio way down to something closer to 4 to 1. That's what helps calm things down system-wide. So, we've looked at the individual players, but how do you actually put it all together into a plan you can stick with? Well, the good news is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a well-researched dietary pattern that does this brilliantly. And that plan is the Mediterranean diet. It's been researched for decades for a reason. It's consistently shown to help manage chronic diseases, including arthritis, because it's naturally, fundamentally anti-inflammatory. And the best part is, the core principles are super simple to follow. It's built on a foundation of fruits, veggies, and whole grains. It uses healthy fats like olive oil and nuts, makes fish the main protein, and it naturally limits those pro-inflammatory foods like red meat and sugar. It just gets it right. And really, the magic of the Mediterranean diet isn't just one single food. It's the whole pattern. It's the symphony playing together. Its true power comes from the way it consistently helps regulate inflammation by packing in the good stuff and crowding out the triggers. And this brings us to what might be the most important point of all. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Every small, positive choice you make, like choosing fish over red meat or snacking on some berries, it all adds up. Over time, these choices accumulate into really significant benefits for how you feel. So, I'll leave you with one final question to chew on. As you think about your very next meal, what is one simple anti-inflammatory swap you can make? Maybe it's just adding a sprinkle of turmeric or switching your cooking oil. That one small step is a powerful move in the right direction. Thanks for joining me.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into how food can help fight arthritis. So what if your kitchen could actually do more for you than your medicine cabinet? Let's find out.
What you eat can either fuel inflammation or it can help calm it down. It's a choice.
And that choice matters. The most inflammatory diets, they're linked to a 36% higher risk of rheumatoid arthritis. We're talking about chronic inflammation. This isn't the good kind. It's a constant, low-grade fire. So how do you fight it? It's not about one magic food. It's all about your overall eating pattern. You can really see the impact here. So let's look at the diet that actually lowers that risk.
And the gold standard, backed by tons of research, it's the Mediterranean diet. It's fantastic for this.
The basics? Think lots of fish, veggies, and olive oil, and less red meat and sugar.
Okay, let's build your arthritis fighting toolkit. We'll call these the hero foods.
First up, healthy fats. The omega-3s in fish and nuts are incredible inflammation fighters. Next, load up on powerful produce. Think color. All those antioxidants protect your joints. And hey, don't forget your drinks and spices. Green tea, ginger, turmeric, they all make a difference. Fiber-rich foods like beans and whole grains are key. They're proven to lower inflammation markers.
All right, we've met the heroes. Now let's talk about the villains, the foods that fan the flames.
You'll want to limit these. They can literally trigger inflammation and make your symptoms worse. But here's the great news. It's about smart swaps, not huge sacrifices. That makes it so much easier. Okay, so how do you actually start? Let's make a simple, doable action plan. Just these 3 simple steps. This makes it totally achievable, even on tough, painful days. Love this advice. It's all about keeping it simple and consistent, not perfect. You got this. And that's why this is so important. You have the power to take control and find relief. So what's the one small change you're going to make to your plate today?